Hello everyone out there on the other side of the lens. It's Tommy with Studio Sense coming at you with another fragrance review video. Actually today, you've heard of the phrase flying blind. Today we're buying blind. That's right. I'm going to show you 7 blind buys that I've accumulated over the past, I'd say month. Bought a few of them in the last couple of days at TJ Maxx and Ross. Some of them I'd heard good things about, but for the benefit of a clean slate, we're going to take each fragrance on its own merit. So when we return, I'm going to show you what I got and talk a little bit about this fragrance journey, that and more. So stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. As mentioned, I have 7 fragrances. Now, I didn't choose 7, that's just the way the number turned out to be, to share with you, so I'm excited. We've got lots of notes to go over in those fragrances, so I want to get right to it. Now, just something I want to mention in advance, all of these fragrances can be found online at discounters like fragrancex.com, fragrance.net, aurafragrance.com, perfume.com, Max Aroma. I mean, there's whatever your favorite discounter likely is going to have these. You can purchase them there. However, I highly recommend if you've run into a fragrance deal that's just amazing, too amazing to pass up, but it's a website you've never heard of before or never used, ask someone in the fragrance community. There are a lot of frauds out there, especially during the pandemic. I hate even saying this, but people take advantage of a unusual situation, and this pandemic is definitely that. It's very unusual. So frauds popping up everywhere. Definitely check with the fragrance community or a friend to make sure it's a legitimate source to purchase from. Having said that, the first fragrance we're going to go over today is by Terry Mugler, and it is Pure Tonka. So let's take a look at the presentation of Pure Tonka. So you've got Amen Pure Tonka, Terry Mugler, Eau de Toilette, 100ml bottle, and notice what it says at the bottom, sublimated by roasted notes. Batch code is 0531340 or 16049. On the very top, nothing. It's got a little bit of a paragraph in different languages. Let's go ahead and get the bottle out. This code is unique. It unlocks the doors of a universe of gifts and surprises. Register your code at www.circle.mugler.com. So if you're interested in doing that, and it gives you a code. Whoever first out there uses the code, help yourself, LJ5HDJ7HP55. Hurry and do it before anybody else can, because I'm not going to do it. And there is Pure Tonka. All right, so wow, that looks interesting, doesn't it? Amen Eau de Toilette 100ml bottle. Now the atomizer sprays the fragrance out just fine, but it's really hard and awkward. I like see how it spits instead of sprays because you have to push this really hard. What a lot of people do, and what I did with my Amen, is I took an X-Acto knife. Be very, very careful when you do this, of course, because the propensity for cutting yourself is pretty high. You can cut this out here because, again, this isn't hard plastic, it's rubberized. So you can cut this out here. I think they did that specifically for that reason. Now you can let it stay kind of flap, or you can just cut it off, which is what I did. And so this whole section is exposed, and it looks literally like the top of any fragrance at that point. It sprays a lot easier and a lot better. Now it doesn't look great when you do that, but so what, right? The important thing is, and I've been smelling it since I've sprayed it, is the juice. Pure Tonka opens with, of all things, a rich and creamy sweet Tonka bean. The Tonka bean is bookended by lavender and rosemary. It's fully encompassed in an aromatic, earthy, spicy, chocolatey coffee accord. Pure Tonka was released in 2016 from the nose of Jacques Pouclier. And like a lot of fragrances whose scent profile is in the title, Pure Tonka is just that. It's going to be a sweet, gourmand fragrance. Now this is going to have better than average projection and longevity, as a lot of Mugler fragrances do, because of the dark, rich notes that are encompassed by this. Smelling really good off a tester strip. Smells amazing on skin. Along with Venezuelan Tonka bean, it does feature notes, additional notes such as lavender, rosemary, also cappuccino, which I mentioned earlier, but also it has an earthy patchouli and a nice rich milky vanilla that rounds out that nice gourmand body, which this is building. I'll say up front, if you're not a fan of gourmand fragrances, again, gourmand are fragrance notes that are represented by edible foods such as honey, chocolate, and it's normally kind of sweet or rich or dark. If you don't like those kind of things in a fragrance for men, probably not gonna like pure Tonka. Pure Tonka is also pure barista with that cappuccino note in there. You can wear it during the day, but it's primarily a nighttime fragrance. It's a great date night fragrance. It's a nice nighttime fragrance for cooler weather. Great fall and winter fragrance. Now you can also wear it in summer. As I've mentioned in other videos, we're in temperature controlled environments 90% of the time anyway. It doesn't matter what the season is. If you like a fragrance, wear it, rock it out. You're gonna enjoy it. Chances are somebody around you is going to enjoy it as well, no matter what the season is. As mentioned, you can get pure Tonka from any online discounter for around 45 bucks. Great deal. Next is a Calvin Klein fragrance that I've been curious about for a while, and it is Calvin Klein's Reveal. Now, Reveal was first released in 2015, I believe, and it was through the efforts of 3 different perfumists. It's a sweet, spicy, masculine fragrance that features some interesting notes like pear brandy, candied ginger, guano. If you remember guano, it's kind of that funky horned melon fruit, but it's more fruity than it is melony. It also has mastic resin, agave, clary sage, suede, amber, vetiver, and tonka bean. Let's go ahead and check out its presentation. This one comes off to me a little bit feminine. Could almost be a unisex fragrance, actually. It's at least that way on a tester strip, maybe on skin. Again, warmth and oils changes of the body of a fragrance quite drastically sometimes. However, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I like unisex fragrances. There are a ton of them that are unisex that I like, but this does have some very curious, it's like a really nice mixture of sharp, subtle, soft, strong, push-pull, which is a great way to introduce a unisex fragrance, although it's not billed as unisex. So there's some kind of sweet subtlety about this fragrance that makes it, at least in my opinion, a great option or alternative option for date nights. Otherwise, you can wear it casually, daytime and nighttime wear. This one is more of a spring and summer fragrance. However, it does have some kind of subtle intelligence to it that can also allow it a little bit more versatility, and really you determine how versatile a fragrance is going to be. But this isn't pigeonholing itself. It's wholly unique. I really want you to smell this if you have it. Reveal is it's an interesting fragrance in a very positive way. I think this is one of those that the more you smell it, the more you're gonna find different facets, different faces of the fragrance that you really like. It's gonna change, kind of morph a little bit over time. And I think Reveal is gonna end up being, and maybe that's really why it's built into the name, because it slowly reveals itself to you in different ways. Next up in our fragrance haul is a fragrance by Hane Mori, and it is called Him. Capital H, small or lowercase I, capital M. An unusual fragrance and an unusual looking fragrance. The color is going to be appropriate. You'll find out why in a moment, but I believe Ashton from Gentsense featured this on a couple of videos, and I've never gotten my nose on it, and since I am a lover of tobacco fragrances, boom, here we go. On the back, we have an unusual bullet list of ingredients. Sierra November 1 Sierra. Nothing on the sides. Okay. Him. Now I do like this bottle. I think that presentation is great. So you've got a nice rich gradient. Starts black from the bottom and goes up to a tobacco stain color, like a tan or like a brown. And then you've got the gold lid. On the very top, HM. On the very bottom, you've got Eau de Parfum. Now there is an Eau de Toilette version of this. The Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum are exactly the same in terms of the aroma itself. Him was released in 2012 as a spicy, woody fragrance, and I have heard that it's often been compared to Gucci Pour Homme 2. I love that. I feel like I'm gonna really like this, so let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3. One for good measure. Oh, nice. A lot of people think like tobacco is just very linear. It's dark, rich, sweet. You could add a few more adjectives in there, but that's pretty much it. That's, you know, what you're getting. However, there are components of tobacco. It's like the edge of tobacco. It's not like sticking it in all the way and you're getting that full juicy tobacco experience. This is edging tobacco. And I have a feeling that, because I'm just taking a whiff of the open, I have a feeling on dry down, it's even better. I really get the comparison to Gucci Pour Homme too. It's definitely built into this. I don't know if that was purposeful, but they definitely rugged, a bit edgy, spicy. Him features notes of bergamot, mandarin, pepper, cardamom, violet leaf, cinnamon, tonka bean, teak wood, fig tree, amber, musk, white cedar, and balsam fir. So this one is going to work out quite well in cooler weather. It's a great fall fragrance, I would say, fall going into winter. This is going to have a variable versatility depending upon where you're going or what you want to do. It will go with you and work very well dressed up or down. It's going to have good to average projection and longevity. So you can get a 100 ml bottle for 25 bucks. Next is a well-known fragrance by Lacoste for spring and summer, and that is L1212 Blanc. It was released in 2010 from the nose of Olivier Fichot, and it's a great citrusy spring and summer fragrance. This fragrance features notes of grapefruit, cardamom, rosemary, cedar leaf, tuberose, frankincense, ylang ylang, vetiver, cedar, and more. Let's go ahead and take a look at the box in that presentation. Again, this one is going to be a great contender for your spring and summer rotation. We're in the midst of summer right now, beginning to the middle, I would say. And it's the perfect time to break out our citrus-based fragrances. It's going to have a little bit more depth to it, however, than your basic citrusy freshie, because it does have that frankincense, so it's going to be a little bit more resinous, a little bit more woody as a result, and give it a little bit more depth of character. This is going to be a great daytime and nighttime casual wear fragrance. You can wear it to the office. It projects enough to get noticed and lasts long enough to be useful. It's like really close, it's edging close to having like a shower gel freshness about it, which is not a bad thing. Shower gels get a bad rap, right? But without those, we wouldn't be walking around clean, but it's gonna obviously last longer than a shower gel. Shower gels are just skin scents. This, however, is not like that. This is gonna be, I love the fact that they're using a few notes that are typically reserved for winter fragrances because they are so resinous, deeper, darker, and richer. But again, it just adds a level of complexity to what might just be a basic generic or derivative fragrance. That's why I like L1212. Great general use fragrances with a really good degree of quality, coming in right around 30 or 34 bucks, getting this in a 100 ml bottle, eau de toilette online, Lacoste L1212 Blanc. Great summertime fragrance. Next in my haul is one that I don't have a ton of expectations for. I've not really heard anything about this. I do have the F fragrance by Salvatore Ferragamo. This is going to be F by Ferragamo Free Time. Let's go ahead and bust into the box and take a look at the presentation for Free Time. I'm anticipating Free Time being another citrus-based summertime fragrance option. And I love having lots of options for blue fragrances in the summer. So on the very back, you've got some ingredients and Salvatore Ferragamo information. This is a 50 ml bottle, 1.7 fluid ounces. I'll show you that if you're interested in looking that up. Nothing doing on the back. You've got kind of a blue and white representative of the entire score of the visuals there, the optics for this fragrance. And let's go ahead and pull that tab out and get it out. There's the belt buckle, as it were. F by Ferragamo, Free Time. So that's pretty much the presentation. Of course, you've got your batch code again in a sticker or on a sticker on the bottom. The lid itself, of course, is clear with the F for Ferragamo, also free for Free Time. And then you've got your atomizer. Having checked out that presentation, let's go ahead and check out this flanker's fragrance. Let's prime it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I like that atomizer. It sprays out a good bit of juice, but a nice big cloud. So this is going to be a great summertime contender. Along with Lacoste Blanc, it's going to be a very fresh, this is a little bit more manly, just like F Black. It's a little bit more manly, a little bit more sophisticated, slightly more refined. This almost has an edge of barbershop to it, but it's not barbershop. It's a very blue fragrance, so it's very aquatic. In fact, some of the notes that Free Time features: lemon, pink pepper, cardamom, ginger. It's got marine notes in it. It's got vetiver, cedarwood, and musk. And you can definitely catch the marine notes right off the top. A little bit of sweetness there with the cardamom. And of course the pepper and the ginger pops off your skin. That's what aids in the projection. So you're gonna get good projection off of this. I would say probably about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and a decent amount of longevity. Something I don't know about it in a first impression, of course, but this is like the pillar fragrance. You're gonna get probably 6 to 7 hours of longevity, which is good. I'm gonna spray this on skin now. Yeah, I really like that. This has got a little bit of a tinge of ozone in the aquatic notes. Of course, this is nowhere near the quality you're gonna get in something like Chanel's Bleu de Chanel, or even Versace Dylan Blue. I would hold that in higher esteem or regard than this. However, as a blue fragrance alternative, this is a really fresh, nice take on a little bit more mature, a little bit more sophisticated, less citrusy, more ozonic, more fresh, marine-like fragrance. If you do like any portion of those notes, you're probably gonna like Free Time. And it's inexpensive. You can get this fragrance for 20 bucks online, 100 ml bottle. So if you like Salvatore Ferragamo, the pillar fragrance, you're probably gonna like this. Again, a nice cheapie to add some additional options or alternatives to your blue fragrance rotation. Next is one that rarely gets mentioned by any reviewers, at least that I've seen on YouTube, and I've always wanted to check it out and try it, and it is Oscar de la Rente's Gentleman. It's got a unique presentation that you couldn't mistake for anything else. It is a domino. In fact, you would think it would be called Domino. Of course, this was launched in 2016, and Oscar de la Renta was like a gentleman of fashion, and he loved playing dominoes. In fact, the tagline for this fragrance when it was released, I believe, was "A life well played," something like that, a life well played. Of course, the fragrance, a nod towards the designer's love for playing games, but he wanted this to be a gentleman's fragrance, something sophisticated as a signature fragrance. Was he successful? Let's find out. Let's take a look at that presentation. Gentleman features notes of bergamot, champagne, cardamom, grapefruit, geranium, rosemary, black tea, amber, vetiver, labdanum, and plenty of woody notes in there. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. I love that bottle. That's so cool. Domino. Wow. Wow. Oh, that is so unique. I love getting fragrances that surprise me. I love getting fragrances that show you don't have to be derivative. You don't have to smell like something else. Now, this fragrance does remind me of something else, but it's gonna come to me in a moment. However, it is extremely unique. It opens up, citrusy, but not super bright. It has some floral sensibilities, but it doesn't come off as unisex. Vetiver and cedar and woodsy seem to be a common theme in this fragrance. Very woody and masculine, but it's also got a very refined sophistication to it. I could see wearing this to a black tie affair, summertime gala or something. This could be at home in a flat in Soho or high-rise complex full of chrome, glass, and lots of negative space. It's got like a relative of Terry d'Hermes, if I'm saying that right. But it really reminds me of Dior Homme 2020. This is a 50 ml bottle. Fragrance.net didn't have 100 mils at the time, so 1.7 ounce, 50 mil. So you can get a 100 mil bottle of this for 30 bucks, 35 bucks. Last in our haul is one that you might be familiar with, and that is English Laundry's Riviera. Came out in 2012. It was marketed as a fresh, fruity fragrance for men. Let's go ahead and check out that presentation. Most boxes you throw away after you take the fragrance out. These are ones that you kind of feel guilty about throwing away. They're not like super nice, but they are lined and they've got a nice cool logo on the inside and it's fitted, you know, kind of looks cool in it, but I don't know. I mean, if it's not going to be something that you're going to be using very frequently, maybe keep the box, because you can sit it, you know, put it in the box and keep it like that and keep it nice that way. But for me, I'll just throw the box away and just set it on the shelf. Riviera is going to be a really nice alternative for a spring and summer fragrance. It contains notes like bergamot, lime, lemon, cedar, jasmine, vetiver, patchouli, geranium, lavender, blackcurrant, lily, mandarin, ylang-ylang, nutmeg, coumarin, and black pepper. Now that is a laundry list of notes. Yes, pun intended. A thing about English Laundry, it can typically be found at TJ Maxx or Dillard's. Wow, that's actually quite pleasant. It's got citrusy with a little edge of floral, but it also is like clean laundry detergent. That's kind of my go-to for English Laundry. I don't know if it's in the name of the house, it's kind of implanted that in my brain, but my expectation when I smell this, I don't often think of laundry, but it smells like very clean laundry. It smells like that island version of Gain. You've got that Gain detergent, and then you've got Gain, the Island Breeze version or whatever, that just juices it up, spices it up. It's a little bit more fruity, a little bit citrusy, and that's what this is. It's a very nice alternative for a dumb grab, a dumb reach for a fresh out of the shower gel-like fragrance. Riviera is a 100 ml bottle. This can be found at most rack stores. TJ Maxx used to have it all the time. Now that some inventory is starting to trickle back in to rack stores, you can probably find this. Don't forget to look on the clearance shelf. They're often there, and they often come bundled together with like a shower gel or a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, something like that. So you can get this about $40 at an online discounter for the 100 ml bottle. Well, that's it, guys, and that was a lot to go over. I feel like we've been talking forever, so thank you for sticking with me for those 7 blind buys, my first impressions on those. I will give you more information in the coming weeks. I'll go ahead and pick out the individual ones that I come to really, really like, and I'll give you a full-on review of those. So don't forget to stop by periodically. Make sure to hit that bell icon, of course, so that you get notified of new content as I upload it. Thank you again so much for being part of my channel growth. I am super happy to say crossed the threshold of 2,000 subs. We are currently over 2,000 subs, and I'm supremely excited about that. What I'm really excited about is that I'm going to be able to pick a winner. It's a program that you can use to randomly select a winner if you're doing a giveaway, which I'm doing. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to choose the winner, and I'm going to let you know who the winner is. That way you can get me your address information so I can send this quarantine kit on its way. I've been waiting for a very long time to find its rightful owner, and it's you. Your name will be announced fairly shortly, so stay tuned for that. Guys, again, thank you so much for always being there and supporting me on my channel, for taking the time out to watch my video today. I will be back very shortly with another fragrance review video or list or fragrance haul. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you next time.